All right. So just to reiterate what I said, key things in HR management can be split into two parts, right? One is HR operations, one is performance management.
Right.
Now, when we talk about HR operations, what it basically means is ability of an organization to handle right from onboarding talent till exiting talent, all the functions which are required to run smoothly,
right,
without intervention of human dependence. So
right,
the biggest benefit of automation is that whether you are onboarding somebody in your office or in a remote location, whether you have an HR resource inside or not, right from onboarding till exit, all the functions should run smoothly.
right.
So if you look at HR operations, you can basically even split HR operations into certain key functions, like as soon as somebody joins in, there is induction, right? And then once a person has been inducted, then you need to make sure that the person has assigned goals, targets. If a person knows what kind of result they are supposed to produce, right? So then as they go about doing their work, you will have to make sure that their data from their personal files, information about the employee is kept well, complete and guarded into the system. And also it is accessible to people who want to use that information at right time. And so that is another aspect of HR. Then of course your policies of the organization, you want new employees to be able to read about those policies, about those operating processes as early as possible, and consistently. So one of the risks that you have with human run HR is that different people will have different interpretations of policies and SOPs, etc., and so there may end up having a transmission loss. So one of the purpose of automation is also that you do not want a transmission loss. You want people to understand the policy, the methodologies the way they are meant to be. So I think that that is what automation is supposed to serve. Employees, when they work, they will want to apply for leaves. They will want a method to basically upload their data and documents if they want. Employees would want to know about other employees, see their profiles. They would want to know about the likes and dislikes, interest of other employees. As HR, you want to know whose are coming, who is completing their anniversaries at work, right? So I mean, those are the things which typically consume a lot of time and energy of HR, because they have to dig for information every time.
Yes.
Right. Some of these things appear very simple, but just imagine that if the HR has wished two people in this week on their birthdays and has forgotten to wish one another person. So it might look like maybe one slip, but that one slip for that person is going to affect the morale and motivation, right? And that is what as an organization you want to avoid. You want to make sure that things are as clean, transparent and consistent as possible. So I think that's the case for for automating HR, right? And I mean, in today's time when distributed teams is a reality, people operate in different locations, right? And it is not possible to put a supervisor on top of every person, right? Technology is your best bet, right? The other key advantage of a tech system is that people now are far more accessing technology platforms because of the mobiles. Everyone has mobile in their hand, which means that pretty much any system which is available is right on their phone. So I think from an organizational management perspective, this is an awesome thing, because you do not need people to be sitting in a certain facility to either know about your organization, to read policies, to apply for leave, to see their targets, to conduct their performance reviews, to learn more. All of this can happen while they are still traveling, they are waiting in airport lounges, or they are traveling in the train. They can just do all of this over their phone,
Yes.
on runtime. So
Yes.
I think that is what basically do. And if you look at PlugHR app, it does all that I've spoken about. So right
Yeah.
from onboarding employees, inducting them, to feeding them all the right content, sharing policies, allowing them to look at their leave balances, apply for leaves, right? To seeing their targets, to seeing when the review periods are getting over, conducting their appraisals, uh, all that is possible using a PlugHR app, and all that is available right here in these three tabs. So if you see setup, users, and performance, between these three, entire HR management gets covered.
Okay.
So just to get a quick glimpse, if you look at this setup page, right, you have this about organization design section. This is all you have to complete before you launch the system to employees.
Okay.
Organization design is the only structuring part. So when you go to about, you have to quickly put little information about about the organization. I logged out. I'll log in.
Yeah.
Yeah, so if you go to about feature, you will see it's a little bit information about the organization.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
So you can put whatever you want here.
You can write a little intro of your company, and you can upload your logo here.
Yeah.
So all your employees on their pages, they will see your company's logos.
Okay.
Then there is a small settings page which allows you to do basic settings about the organization, like when does your financial year start, what is your work day look like, so when does it start, what are the number of weekend days, right? So I have chosen 2 days per week. You can choose whatever, 1 day per week or 1.5 day per week, or alternate 1 day and 2 day, or 2 day 1 day. So basically, some companies have 2 days weekend, Saturday Sunday off. Some companies have half day on Saturdays. Some have alternate Saturday Sunday off. So you can accommodate all of that.
Okay.
Yeah. So the other thing is, when does the accrual cycle begin for leaves? So that's
January.
on which new leave accumulation will begin.
Yeah. Understand.
That you can set. Again, who will assign targets? In certain organizations, it's the HR who has to assign targets for everyone. In some organizations, supervisors can do it. So you can choose that. Again, you can choose a review frequency. So some organizations set up monthly targets and reviews. Some do quarterly, some do 6 monthly, some do annually.
Yeah.
You can choose whatever cycle you want to run.
Okay.
And you can also change the cycle when you want, right? So
Yeah.
quarterly is normally a good run. Most of the companies set goals quarterly, and then they do reviews quarterly.
Yes.
So you can do that. And so once you've done this, then you can set up offices. So like in your case, I was telling you, your different country operations can be different offices.
Yes.
Right. So I can create different office locations. At your head, there can be
so there will be master login, and then different country login.
That's right. You can create different offices. So admin, of course, is shared. So when you do an admin, they will be able to see all country operations, right? So it's a choice you have to make between whether you want admin to see all country operations, or you want country wise. If you want country wise access, then you will have to create multiple accounts for each country. But if you want to create a group account, then in that case, admin will have view for every company in the group.
No, suppose, of course, it is always better to create, different account for different country. But if suppose I am in India, I don't have anything to do with Korea or Europe.
Right.
But, maybe the person sitting up, he wants to access all the information.
So in that case, what you will do is that you will create an India account.
Yeah.
But to those, let's say 2 or 3 people who are sitting in global headquarters and they also want to have a view of India operations, you will add them.
Okay.
Yeah. So they can be added either they of course will not be added as an employee, but they can be added as an admin.
Okay.
And only those people will have access to all the information. They can see it.
Okay. So there is no limit of number of admin we can. add, right?
Yeah, there is an overall limit on the number of users based on the plan that you choose.
Yeah, that is okay.
But out of that, any number of people can be admins. There is no limit on that.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah, so
Understood.
also, you can create a hierarchy also. So you can create an employee account for somebody who is, let's say, president of the company sitting in, let's say, Hong Kong or wherever. If you can create the identity of that person as an employee, you can create that person as a president. And then the person can have all the rights just like anyone else.
Okay.
So you can do that also, right? So in a hierarchy, you can create that person, and so basically in a structure, then the country CEO will be reporting to the president, and so finally president will have all the rights, and they will be able to see, right? So all that is.
Okay, understood.
Yeah. So this is how you create multiple offices, and then you go to edit department. So one of the great advantages of a PlugHR system over any other software system is that in PlugHR, most of the structure of organization that you would require is already built in. So like, for an example, when you create an organization structure, you will require departments. So all the departments that are mostly required are built in into the system. You don't have to create them from scratch. So if you see, I'm showing you the PlugHR system. So in that you have corporate, marketing, sales, HR, finance, technology, operations, and admin. If you create a new account, you will also have manufacturing, quality, engineering, right? A lot of other departments, which in case of PlugHR was not relevant, so I have deleted them. But in other, you will find by default most of the departments there. You can edit and rename those departments, or you can delete those departments, or you can create completely new department.
New department. Yeah,
all that is possible. So it gives you a head start, right? And then each department has its KRAs predefined already in the system.
Okay. Yeah.
And that is again a big advantage, because normally organizations end up taking months to years sometimes in just setting up KRAs for different roles.
Yeah.
Right. In this case, because of our exposure and experience of having handled so many HR departments, we have at a default level created KRAs for each department.
Okay.
Just like you can edit and delete the departments, you can of course edit and delete or rename the KRAs if you want.
Yeah. Okay.
Right? But in case you do not want to reinvent the wheel and you say, okay, let's just go by what is built in, you can very well just run with KRAs which are already there.
Okay. So the advantage in a company like us is that, we keep starting the new business unit in different countries. So if any new business unit is coming, we just subscribe this, give the access to the head of the company, and ask him to follow it. Maybe it becomes very easy for him to start.
Absolutely.
He doesn't have to put
so it completely cuts away the senior engagement. See, most of the time you will end up hiring a VP of HR or some senior HR consultant to just create all that.
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
Here it's all already created, so you don't need a senior person. Right. It's ready to roll. Same thing you will find has been done for skills. So for every department, the amount of skills required to perform well in this department have already been created in the system.
Okay.
So you don't have to again do this whole creative exercise of doing skill mapping, competency mapping, and things like that, because for every department, most commonly used skills we have already defined.
Okay.
In specialist businesses, there may be need for adding some more skills, right? But which you can always add, right? So you can, but you don't have to from scratch define every skill.
Yeah.
So that skill map is already exists. Now with that already there, so your departments are already there, skills are already there, KRA is already defined. All you have to do is just go and create roles. So actually, to begin the system, all you have to do is fill the about. You have to do the setting. You have to create offices and
create roles.
Goal to create roles, right?
Yes.
Creating roles is very simple. You select a department and you create roles inside.
Right.
Understood. The creation of a role also allows you to think through hard about what role is there within each department.
Yes.
What happens is once you've created roles, when you onboard people into those roles, If you are
Mhm.
very clear about which kind of KRAs are these roles supposed to accomplish, and
Right.
you also know the skill sets required, so your assessment is far more sharper.
Yes. 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 Right.
So that's the
Absolutely.
objective of defining KRA's skills and asking you to create roles, is that when you
Mhm.
onboard people, you are more clearer. And every manager who is conducting an interview for a particular role, because now he would know the KRAs and the skill set required, the manager is more likely to be efficient in the assessment.
Absolutely.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
I think
Yeah.
that's the
Yeah.
objective. Then of course
Mm.
you can go ahead and do inductions. There is an induction presentation that you can upload. Then there are
Yeah.
induction tests you can create. Yeah, so
Mm.
every induction that you upload, you can either mark it for a specific department, or
Mhm.
if you can make it corporate. If you make it corporate, if you make it organizational induction, everyone in the
Mhm.
company will have access to that. If you mark that induction as specific to a department, only people
Mm.
in that department will see that.
Yes.
Again, the beauty here is you can upload multiple inductions. So
And even choose a department.
you can choose. So if let's say you can name a particular induction and you can say either entire department, or you can choose which departments you want it to be for.
Understood. Yeah.
So suppose I am joining marketing department. When I log into the system, I'll first see the inductions for the entire organization, and then I will also see induction
Induction of marketing.
for marketing. Right. So
Yeah.
now just imagine if a new person has joined on day one. He is just come. He's having his coffee. And you don't need to just call HR and call those functional managers and make this person sit in the room and spend time.
Yeah.
Person can just log in into the system and run through organizational inductions followed by functional induction, take the test for both, and then actually meet people. So the half of the work has already happened before you have even met the person.
Yes.
Yeah. So
Mm.
theoretically, if the travel is long and person is traveling by train, before he reaches office on the way, he would have done his own induction.
Yes. Yes. Yes.
So that's what a system like this creates as a possibility, right?
Yes.
Same way, if you see down there is policies.
Mm-hmm.
So you can upload policies, you can create policy content, you can create holiday list, right? And you can then assign different holidays to different offices, because let's say if you have offices in different countries, or even in a large country like India, you have offices in south of India, north of India, the list of
Yeah.
holidays may be different.
Yes.
Yeah, so you can
Yes.
customize the holiday list for each office. Right.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah.
And
Yeah.
likewise, you can automate leave. You can, adjust leave balances to make sure that people can then start using it.
So automate leave is basically for the department wise you can
No,
do, or the user wise.
it's a organization wise, but every user
Mhm.
has their own accumulation based on when they joined, etc. Yeah,
Okay. Yeah. 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 Yeah.
because leave has to do with organizational level policy. So you can, let's say, for
Yes. Yes.
example, choose that after every month two leaves will accumulate, right? So
Yeah.
once you set the formula, system will automatically start creating that. So if you see, look at the automate leave section.
Mm-hmm.
Here you can create a leave name,
Yeah.
right? And you can then say accrual period is what, whether it's a fixed number of days per year, or it's a quarterly accrual, monthly or weekly, right?
Mm-hmm.
And if it's a monthly, then you'll say, okay, what is the accrual rate, right? So
Mm-hmm.
typically, let's say if I have to create a new category of leaves, let's say I already have certain leaves created here, casual,
Yeah.
medical, earned. So let me look at earned leave. Let me just look at edit, and
Mm.
let's see. So see, in earned leaves, when I created,
Mm.
I called it monthly accrual, and I'm accruing 1.5 day of leave every month.
Okay.
So
Yeah.
when an
Yeah.
employee completes one complete calendar month, the 1.5 days leave is credited to their account.
Yes.
So I have written a little availing criteria here so that people
Yeah.
who are accessing it can read it. Then I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying who can avail this leave. So employees can avail, trainees can avail. I
Yeah.
use interns and contractors also. I have not used it, but I can use that. Right?
Mm.
So let's say I can add
Okay.
contractors also. Right?
Yeah. Yeah.
It is available for all. Can the employees use it on probation? Yeah.
Yes.
So I have checked it, which means people on probation can also avail this leave. then I'm saying what is the maximum consecutive leave somebody can take. So maximum consecutive is 18. Actually, in a year, 18 leaves are accruing.
Yes.
So I can say, but in certain cases, suppose you do not want to give all 18 together, you can put a limit of 10. You can say at one point you can only take 10 leaves.
10 or 7, yeah, it depends.
Yeah, so that by company policy you can. Then you can also set a negative leave limit, which means sometimes what happens is that people have not accumulated leaves or they are exhausted, but they have an urgent need for which they have to take leave. Right?
Yeah.
So you can allow certain negative leave limit, which in our case we have defined as 3, which means that even if you do not have any leave balance, up to 3 leaves you can still take. Your account will go into -3, and then when next time 3 get credited to you, it will get adjusted.
Yes.
Yeah, so that's the negative leave limit, and then of course there's a carry forward. So once the annual leave accrual cycle is over, do you want to allow a carry forward of leaves to the next cycle? In our case, we allow 3 leaves to get carry forward.
Okay. Yeah.
Which means you have to consume 15 leaves in a year, otherwise they will lapse. Yeah.
Okay.
Sometimes you may not want to carry forward anything. You can make this 0. So which means there's no carry forward. Now maximum transfers. Transfers is a new concept. We are just trying to play out. It's not fully available right now. But transfer typically means that if I have as an employee a lot of leave balances, but there's some other friend of mine in the company whose leave quota has completely expired, but he badly needs leave, I can transfer my leave to that person.
Okay.
Yeah, so it's an innovation. We are just trying to see if it makes sense. It has its own challenges. So it's still not live, this particular feature, but yeah, I mean, we are just thinking about it.
Okay.
So this is how you set up the whole leave, and once it is set up, then nobody has to worry about accumulation, leave quota. Employees don't need to keep calling HR to figure out whether my leave is balanced. Can I take this leave, that leave? They can just serve it themselves. Yeah. So once they apply leave, anyway, there's an approval system. So the supervisor will have to approve it.
Okay. Yeah.
So then only it gets approved.
Yeah.
So we go to users now. Then once these things are set up, then you can add users. Adding users is very simple. Just open this form, add these details. You can choose which department is the person from, and based on the department, the roles will automatically appear. Yeah, so you pick the role, then you pick the role type, whether this is a top management role, functional head, team leader, or frontline. And then you can pick an office. You can also give a designation which is different from role. So sometimes you may want to, their role may be product manager, but your designation may be something else. Your designation may be senior executive or whatever. So it allows you, it's like a cover page or an avatar, whatever you know. Then you put a starting date, probation end date. You put the CTC, right? Employee type, whether it's employee, intern, trainee, or a contractor. Reporting relationship. And if you see skill rating, so I have chosen product manager here, and so the product manager's skill criteria will appear.
Okay.
So influence, conviction, creative thinking, objective judgment, critical thinking, logical thinking. These are the things which are required in the product manager's role.
Yeah.
And so
this I mean, the supervisor can rate this. Who is hiring, right?
That's right. So whoever is hiring will put an initial rating. So needs substantial improvement, needs improvement, meets objective, exceed objective, or far exceed objective, right?
Okay. So it depends. The last person who is deciding to take him on board, we give the feedback.
That's right. So HR can basically, the HR is going to add the person.
HR can do that.
HR can seek the report from the interviewers.
Yes.
And then while adding the user, HR is supposed to rate what are the ratings of this person.
So these ratings will be shown to the person, this particular person.
Like when he gets his own access, he will see his own skill ratings also.
Okay, so he can understand that what company thinks about him and HR and where he needs to work.
Absolutely. Okay. So it also shows that where, let's say, improvement is required.
Yeah.
And this assessment is also seen by the supervisor. So supervisor also knows that which are this person's strength areas, which are the weakness areas. So
Okay.
you know that where this person might require a little support initially. And in fact, the advantage is just to HR is that HR can quickly put together a training program so that the people do not keep running on their weaknesses for very long.
Mhm.
So see, ultimately HR needs an agenda to pick on training, right? They need to know which are the trainings which are required,
Yes.
so that you do not end up spending money on building those skills where people are already strong.
Already strong. Yes.
Yeah. So
But I just have a question.
hmm.
I mean, why we would like to show it to the person? I mean, it can also maybe demotivate that person. I mean, if he's joining and on the first day he sees that okay, there are a lot of negative markings given by company to
No.
me.
So look at it this way. If there are
Yeah.
suppose 6 skills, and if this person needs substantial improvement in 4 of them, the biggest
Yeah.
question as a HR, as a CEO, I'll ask is, why are we hiring this person?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I think at the time of hiring, this is important, so that it reminds people that what are the skills, and do we have people, does this person have certain kind of capability on certain skills?
Yeah.
That is one. Second thing is,
Yeah.
if you want to
Yeah.
improve a person's capability, right,
Yeah.
the biggest person who can make that happen is that person himself.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
by
Yeah.
not sharing what should be their own learning priorities, you are actually completely working against the objective.
I understood, but again, one more issue can happen is that suppose since suppose I'm the HR and I'm hiring somebody, and just as per my feeling, I've given them maybe a good grade. Whether he doesn't he doesn't have that, like for example influence. Suppose I give him that he's very good, but he might not be that good. But just because I wanted to hire and close the role, I've given him that positive rating. So then what?
Yeah. So which means, see, one of the things is that HR is
Yeah.
normally not the person who is going to just open the system and hire somebody, right?
Yes.
It will come to HR only after the assessments have happened.
Yeah.
And when the assessment is happening, this skill set which is available here is also available to the supervisor who is conducting the interview.
Okay.
So what supervisor does is that he opens the skill requirement of that role,
Mm-hmm.
and when records his own observation against those skills. So ratings is not something which HR is going to give. Ratings is
Understood.
something which is going to come on this person's profile, because the
By the
whole
supervisor.
chain has done that.
Yeah.
So
Because the interviewer is putting that. Yeah.
is rating, right? So HR is
Yeah.
only feeding into the system the final ratings. That's all.
Understood. So
That's
yeah. So in a way, the team leaders, if they choose their team, and later
yeah.
they come that he's not good or he's not bad, we can always question them that you
Absolutely,
have.
absolutely. So then why,
Yeah.
why was somebody like this hired? So it
Yeah.
automatically becomes a check and balance. Number two
Yes.
is that if uh, if HR has, if the supervisor has not given those ratings, then HR ends up changing the ratings,
Mm.
right? Then when the supervisor sees the person's ratings,
Yeah.
supervisor will get up and say that, how come this is not what I had rated.
Yeah. Just a minute. I'm getting a call. Just a minute. Just a minute. Hello. हाँ? कहाँ से बोल रहे हैं? हाँ बताइए बताइए. सर थोड़ा थोड़ा सा लाउड बोलेंगे समझ नहीं आ रहा. हाँ एक्चुअली मैं अभी ना एक कॉन्फ्रेंस कॉल पे हूँ, मुझे थोड़ा सा टाइम दीजिए. थोड़ी देर बाद मुझे फोन करें, 1 घंटे के बाद फोन करेंगे तो अच्छा रहेगा. सॉरी भैया.
Yeah, no problem. So that's the whole
Yeah.
idea, right? That it becomes like a check and balance. Also,
Check in balance.
skill development is actually a joint collaborative play between the person whose skills has to be developed,
Yeah.
supervisor who has to participate in that,
Yeah.
and HR who has to facilitate, who has to make sure that resources are there.
Okay.
All the three people have to have a very clear view of what is the current level of the skills.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah, so that's I think is important. So
Yeah.
Yeah, so this is what the skill
Understood. Yeah, yeah.
system is. That's
Yeah.
how very simply you add the person. Also,
Yeah.
the skill assessment is done every time a performance review is being done.
Yes.
So since you choose, let's say, a quarterly appraisal cycle, at every quarter when targets are being reviewed, the supervisor will be asked to review skills also.
Okay.
So what
Okay.
happens is, when the first time skill assessment happened, it was based on only interview guesswork. But after three
Yeah. Yeah.
months, the person has already worked on the ground.
Yes.
So when now this time assessment will happen, the supervisor is likely to have more evidence based on the actual performance on ground.
Yes.
So
Understood.
with every passing quarter, the skill report is more likely to become close to accurate as possible.
Understood.
Yeah, so that's the whole idea of capturing skill and then making sure that every review they are being assessed.
Yes.
Yeah, so this is about the skill, adding users. When you add users, and then of course you can manage users, you can end probation, you can see user profiles, if you can upload documents, you can see employee documents, and you can also upload documents of employees. Right? You can see the leave status, skill report of people. Right? Then you can announce events. So if there is any upcoming event, there's meeting coming, there's some kind of a get together, etc., you can announce those events. People will see it on their page. Yeah, and it's very simple. Just create an event, put a date, and announce it.
Yeah. This is basically because the admin writes, not the no, not all the user can do that, right?
No. So I'm showing you only admin page. This is right now.
Admin.
All this is
Yeah.
available only to admin.
Yes. Yes.
So manage blogs. So blogs is something which you can write. HR can write blogs. HR can ask senior leadership team to write various blogs and learning articles, and you can publish them.
Yes.
You can also run various kind of competitions and challenges in the company where you ask people to write great content, and the best ones get published with their names. And so it becomes like a very rewarding and motivating experience for people to see that their work is being published and others are seeing them, right? So
Yes.
as people become professionals, if you have money, once everyone is getting paid well, money stops attracting or motivating much. People start looking at more self-actualizing ways of getting motivated. So recognition is one important thing in motivating people.
Yes.
Yeah, so you can write an article, you can put the author's name and basically put it up.
Yeah.
So those things are life important. And of course, you can publish your core values. So, again, if you write core values, it's straight up go there, everyone reads them, and then you can write a description about what it means. Yeah. Those things. So these are things which basically, as an entrepreneur, as a CEO, you want people to consume, but they end up getting lost in the transmission because there are various people involved.
Yes.
Right. So tech system allows you to bypass all that hierarchy or bureaucracy and make sure people are directly connected to your own vision.
Yes.
Yeah. So same way, message for the team is basically a simple message that you can, as a CEO, write, and people will see it on their homepage.
Yes.
Yeah. So you can keep putting a motivating message once every week or once in a month, whatever frequency you want. Right. So, and this will get, so like you can write this and it will get published there. So, and then of course, exit, there's the exit management.
Yeah.
No, sorry. This is separation. So when people leave, HR can initiate an exit, and then you make sure that properly people have gone out of system. I'll call back. So you can put a person. You can also choose whether this exit is company initiated or employee initiated or employee absconded.
Yeah.
Yeah, and so you can put a resignation date, last working day, any comment, and you can initiate it. Once you initiate it, it goes to the employee itself to confirm. Then it goes to supervisor for approval, selection of who will take charge, and then
Mm-hmm.
it gets frozen. The person who is supposed to take charge, an email goes to that person saying that you are expected to take charge from this person. So all of this is built in automatic.
Okay.
Yeah, so it again doesn't depend. Just like onboarding, it doesn't depend on somebody internal HR or somebody being there. Exit also doesn't depend on somebody hand holding and pushing paper.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so it's all automated. So
Understood.
that's what you do in user. And lastly, there is this performance. KRA is also built in, like I said, for every department.
Yes.
Yeah, and there's another element called success indicators. Success indicators are basically the performance indicators, but these are company level performance indicators. So basically, every target that a supervisor assigns has to be linked to a KRA and has to be linked to a success indicator.
Okay.
Now, what it means is that, let's say, a marketing department.
Yeah.
A marketing department, if I say show KRAs, it will show me these are the KRAs created for marketing department. There are about 15 or 12 of them. Yeah, every target that you will give to an individual will fall into one or the other KRA.
Right.
You can of course rename these and you can change or you can add these, but my suggestion is that we have done a lot of research to create these. So if you want to change or add, you have to do it very, very carefully, only if you think you have done enough research.
Mm-hmm.
Otherwise, all of these will take care of everything, every kind of target that you want to give.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so when you assign target, you just pick a KRA, right? Different roles in a department may have different subset of these KRAs.
Okay.
But ultimately, these are department KRAs. So anyone who is in marketing department will have a certain subset of these KRAs.
Okay.
Right. The second factor which I said is success indicator. Success indicator is what every target that you give must contribute towards. So what it means is that any target which I give to my team member finally should impact either gross sales or gross margin or net margin or EBITDA, PAT, direct cost, brand image, customer loyalty, right? One of this it must move, otherwise there's no point. It's no good KRA or it's no good target.
Yes.
So what you will give to team members are targets. Those targets will belong to certain KRAs, and those targets will be meant to create an impact on one of the, or the other success indicator.
Okay, understood.
So this process ensures that supervisors end up setting up meaningful targets rather than just casual targets.
Understood. Yeah, good.
So this also ensures a strong business alignment of the whole KRA and target exercise.
Yes.
Yeah. So if the overall organization objective is execution velocity, which means that you want to execute faster, then if your targets, lot of people targets you see and nothing is marking to execution velocity, which means finally it is not going to happen.
Yes. Yeah.
So lot of times what happens is we end up creating strategic objectives, but when you look at the targets of people, nothing was pointing towards that.
Yeah. I have seen many times that, the leader, he want to do something, but he didn't convey it well. So at the end of the day, he only end up fighting for, getting it achieved, and his team is doing something else.
Right. So this ensures that, right? Because then supervisor will end up appointing, and as a CEO, you have view of what people's targets are, and so you can clearly see and say, boss, listen, this is the objective, but what are people running after?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, it's good.
So this becomes a very, very simple cut through into the whole heart of HR. A lot of time HR ends up creating KRAs, KPIs and all kind of jargons. And as an entrepreneur, we have no idea what all that is contributing towards.
Yes.
So this cuts through that and straight aligns it. And then of course the rest are review, ratings, etc. You can, do reviews, you can do all that, right? After success indicator, if you see there is rating scale. Now, rating scale, again, we have created a very simple 5-point rating scale, which moves from needs substantial improvement, which is lowest rating of 1, going up to highest rating of 5, which means far exceeds objectives, right? Now,
yes,
here again, you can change it. You can rename them. You can say good, average, ugly, whatever you want, right?
yes,
But if you do not want to do any unnecessary tempering, you can just run with it.
yeah,
Yeah. So,
yeah,
and then you initiate review cycles. So review cycles, when you initiate, that's where the performance management system begins. If you do not initiate review cycle, till then the target setting exercise will not start.
yes,
Yeah. So yeah. So this is what you have to do to initiate the review cycle, right?
okay. Choosing particular person.
Yeah. No, for the whole organization.
Oh, okay.
So this is the organizational level performance management. You just start saying that, okay, I want to start doing quarterly or whatever, and when it begins.
Okay.
In my case, it is not if you see the page is not appearing because we have already initiated the cycle.
Okay.
So it's not showing up. When you start a new account, until you have activated it, it will keep showing as a live link.
Okay.
Once you have activated the cycle, then it's running. Then it doesn't require a
Understood.
So this is what more or less is. There are reports, of course. You can view role book, which means all your company roles you can see here. You can see all the KRAs. You can see induction status, current manpower reports, right? These are, and you can split them. So you can look at all locations reports or office-wise reports, all employee types or whatever. So suppose I want to see all Mumbai employee reports. You show me a manpower chart, and I can see department wise. So see, all departments in Mumbai office put together are 7 employees. This is the total cost. This is the average cost. This is the average age of the team. This is how many men, how many women. So all that is available.
Yes.
You can see this split even department wise.
Yeah.
So this is the kind of report you want to ask HR all the time, and HR has to go back and keep creating these. It's available here real time.
Yeah.
So this is what it is. I'll log out from here. I'll quickly give you a glimpse of how from an employee side the page looks.
Yes.
And then we are pretty much done. So, like I said, for an HR person, this becomes like 1 point screen to manage entire HR operations.
Yeah. Actually, the company like us will have more advantage of this because, if you have to start setting up a new branch in a new country or even in a new area is a difficult process.
Absolutely.
You have to go through the same. Many times, not everybody can be a leader, right? So you choose a good manager, but he's not a good leader. And the problem is that you end up managing him and all the things for him. Yeah.
No, see, also what happens now, Ankush, traditionally, when we talk about good leader, we actually end up loading leaders with so much of administrative stuff and logistic stuff, which may not be their strength.
Yes.
And that is because of lack of system. Just because we do not have a technology, we start saying that, okay, a leader has to print the policy manual, make sure everyone gets it. Those things are logistics. They may not be pointing towards leadership capabilities at all.
Yes.
But just because we do not have a system, we call everything as leadership.
Yes.
So the moment you start giving them systems, even the leaders are enthusiastic and motivated to then actually focus on creating results and being leaders.
Absolutely.
Right? Suppose if you take a new office, it's not even painted, and then you say, okay, the good leader is going to paint the office, apply the board, connect the internet, connect all that. Now you have wrong definitions about leader. A lot of people will fail there.
Yes.
And so I think giving a good system on day one is, I think, one of the greatest leadership acts which the top management can do for everyone.
Yes.
And so no matter whether you're starting a new operation, in Lucknow or in Chennai or in Shenzhen, wherever, that the moment the employee comes on day one, he will go or she will see the system which is fully up and ready, will read the content just like anyone else in major cities.
Yes.
So by doing that, you bring everyone in the company at par.
Yes.
I think that is what an automated system should achieve. Additionally, what Plug HR system achieves is it not just automates, but it also leads you in HR thought. So it ends up doing half of those things which in a typical normal HR system you would have to create from scratch. Here, a lot of those things are pre-built.
Yeah.
So it makes the whole thing so much more easier for you.
Yes.
Yeah. So this is what the employee page looks like. If you see again, very simple template. There's about, there's work, there's life, there's team. Yeah.
Yes.
Only team members get to see team. If you are not leading a team, then you have only about, work, and life.
Okay.
About is about the organization. So this talks a little about the company, the core values, company induction, policies, committees. You can search for colleagues and read about them, and you can read the company blog.
Yeah.
So if a new person joins, all you have to do is tell that person spend half a day only on this. Or actually not even half a day. If they spend even 1 hour on the system, they pretty much are on top of everything.
Yes.
If you go to work, they can of course track their own onboarding and they can see their role. So if I go to my role, I get to see all my official data. And then I go and see my key KRAs. Of course, this is a dummy system, so you have not. But you see your KRAs and you see your current rating skills. Skill rating, right? So, A1 to find their clearly defined roles and KRAs and all that is actually doesn't happen even in larger organizations.
Yes.
Yeah. So here everything is on your tips. Then of course you can rate yourself, rate targets. You can review your performance history, performance improvement plan if you're on. You can see my documents. You can upload documents from here. Yeah. You can choose whether you are uploading a work experience or training or personal document. Your investment declaration for the year you can upload from here. Yeah. So, and then there is life, which is about you can apply for leave. You can avail optional holidays. Right. There are more things in life which will come. We are trying to add a few benefits also for employees right here. So companies don't have to individually keep looking at every benefit. So we will add centrally some of those. And then there is team. Team is basically for a team manager. So you can view the team. You can set targets for the team. I'll just give you a quick glimpse of how to set targets. If let's say as a supervisor, I want to set target. Of course, we have explained it here on top, everything that you need to know about setting target. But suppose, so whatever review period you have chosen, based on that, if review cycles will appear. So at Plug HR, we run on monthly cycles. So our current cycle is for September to 30th September. Then we say choose a user. So I can pick a user. So let me pick, let's say Sampath Kumar. Sampath Kumar is part of a technology team. I say search for targets. So here the target comes. So what's the target? I have to write the target here and I have to select a KRA. So if you see, this is the list of, so he's part of tech team. His KRAs include MIS, network management, complaints management, facility, material purchase, code quality, project delivery, right? So let's say I pick a KRA called project delivery. Then I say, what is the target? And I say, okay, attendance feature launch in this month. So I say that because it's a monthly target, I'm saying attendance feature must launch this month. And I link it to a success factor, success indicator. So I have to choose what indicator is going to talk about, right? What we are covering. So are we saying competitive advantage, execution velocity, customer loyalty? What is it that is going to get added? Enterprise risk. So this is basically execution velocity. We want to speed up the launch of the overall product, right? And I say, okay, the weightage for this is 25% or 50%, whatever. So I say 25%, then it gets added down. If I want to commit my performance here, I will not be able to commit performance targets because there's still 25%. The total weightage must be 100%.
Yes.
So I'll have to add 3 more or 4 targets.
Yeah, understood. Yeah.
Add more. Once I add more, then I'll be able to commit targets. Once I commit targets, Sampath Kumar will get an email saying that your target for this period has been set.
Okay.
Yeah. So that's the beauty. The target setting you can do in 20 minutes for everyone in the company.
Okay. So you can also link the emails here, and the mail will go directly to the
They're already
user.
linked.
Okay.
The moment you create a user and you share their email ID and you add them, they already have. Everyone has a notification tab. The moment anything required by the system, there is a notification here. If you see, I have 19 things pending. These are notifications. Do you see?
Okay.
One of my team members has just completed the induction exam.
Yeah.
He just joined induction exam. Then my supervisor ratings are pending for this. There's a lot of stuff pending. If you see my notification, there are two types. One is only for information. One is action required.
Yeah.
So action required is where I have to go and finish it up. Where so everything. So see, six users are without targets for the current performance period.
Yes.
Yeah. So as a supervisor, if I do not set target for people in time, the system will keep alerting me every day.
Yes.
And if you see, this will keep coming.
Yes.
Yeah, and I have to make sure that those are created.
Yeah. So as a CEO, you just log in and maybe in half an hour you can review the entire.
Absolutely. So see, it's very simple. That system will get after you. These are the things which otherwise HR had to do. Keep calling people, keep reminding them.
Yeah.
It saves everyone's time and it keeps people on top of what they're supposed to do.
Okay.
If you
in this system, is there is any daily work management or something also? Like, for example, there are a lot of employees. Like, for example, sales team. They go to the weekly. Suppose they have 10 customers visit. Now they tell you verbally. Can they put it here that this is what their work is?
It's not, that feature is not there right now, but it is in our production line. So eventually, in a few months, it will come. It's basically daily work report. So so that will come, and so it will make easy for everyone to update what they have done. What we are also trying to do is that when they upload their daily report, we will ask them to also put the business expenses that they have done in that day, so that they can capture their travel expense, etc. And what happens at the end of the month, when they compile all that, it becomes easier for them to remember. Otherwise, if they have not been recording, that most of the people from their guesswork end up making claim reports. You're not never sure whether how accurate they are.
Yeah. So I think that would be a good feature to add.
It's very good. It solves one more issue of the finance head. A lot of times what happens is people end up claiming their business expenses after some 2 months, 3 months or whatever. When they make a claim, suddenly, finance gets a shock because they were not anticipating that.
Yes.
But if it is loaded in the system, we can at a system level show a CFO that so much of expenses happened, it has still not hit you, but it will eventually come.
Yes, absolutely.
So it allows for a great way to project what the kind of cost is coming. Also, what happens is, let's say if somebody is not putting expenses every day, right? Only after when he puts the claim, you realize how much money he had to spend to get that result.
Absolutely.
But if, let's say, if somebody is spending, doing a work report and every day spending certain amount, after third or fourth day, if you think this is exceptionally high, you can do a conversation with the person and understand why so much expense is happening.
Yeah, and also, many companies like us, we have these small projects. So it will be very easy for us to get a report of project profitability as well from this.
Absolutely. No, you can compare resources. You can see that, okay, the same task somebody is doing at X expense, somebody is doing at double of that, and you can raise up that discussion.
Absolutely, that is there. And another one more suggestion is that about the daily, attendance. If we can also put one feature that suppose today I'm working and I'm in Mumbai. I just get up and the first thing is just go to the app and put your daily attendance and your location.
So attendance will come in 3 weeks time.
Yeah. because that will give an automatic report, and
Yes.
the person who is on leave may not be able to access that feature or something,
Yeah. So system fail. So we have already building it. It's now under for review and launch. In 3 weeks, attendance feature will be there. People will be able to mark every day whether they are present or half day or they are on leave, right? And if they had earlier applied for leave and it is approved, then that day it will automatically show them on leave.
For them only. Also, if possible, I try to attach it with the SMS. Sometimes what happens is, suppose employee is traveling and he's not able to access the thing. So if we SMS it, the SMS should go to the record, and automatically, if it can update, that would be. I don't know. I mean, technology-wise, it is possible or not. But this is one challenge which system can face is many times people are traveling. Suppose they are not able to access the internet, they are marked absent. So in that case, if they send the SMS, it should automatically go to the system, and automatically their attendance will show them as a present.
Yeah. So technologically, of course, it is possible, because technologically we are now all Earth preparing to go to Mars and Moon. So it is possible. I'll have to check whether in our scope of things right now it is possible or not. But it's a good suggestion. Yeah.
Yeah, because this is also what many company faces. This is challenge what I am also facing.
Yeah.
When you have a lot of employees on the field, and they are working, but they are not maybe internet issue or something. They're not able to give you their attendance, or maybe they are inside the factory. They come out in the evening, and then you come to know he's working, and then the blame can start that you have not given your attendance, so you mark leave. And you say I worked too hard the whole day, and you mark me absent. So this kind of thing happens.
Yeah, sure. So yeah, it's a good thought. We'll see how well it can be factored in. Yeah.
Yes. Overall, I think I have understood it very well.
Yeah.
It's a good thing. So tomorrow I'm flying to China, and I'll have a meeting. I've already informed my president that I will be presenting you a system which I like. I just wanted to have a brief idea. What I'll do is in the meantime, today and tomorrow, during my travel time, I'll try to feed some of the data of my team.
Sure. I'll show you one last feature which is right there on homepage. Which is this search box which says what do you want to do.
Yeah.
Now, suppose as an employee you don't want to go into menus and find out what you want to do.
Yeah.
You can just come here and just start writing.
Yeah.
And if you want to apply for leave, it will show you what all can you do with that.
Okay.
And it will automatically take you to that page. Suppose you want to do induction, just start writing induction. It will serve you up whatever is available.
Okay. Yeah. So kind of a search.
It's like
inside the app.
It's like a help window, right? You don't have to go and browse for your medicine and search for medicine. Yeah. You come on the counter, just tell the person what do you want. It will serve you up front.
Understood.
Yeah. So especially if you are on mobile, if you are traveling, this feature might come very handy.
Yes. Understood. Yeah, I think it's a good feature. So I don't know whether it has get recorded or not. If it is get recorded, then maybe you can send me through. Maybe you can, if the file is too big, maybe you'll upload on the Google Drive or something, and I can access it here. Okay, that is also possible.
Do that. Yeah.
Yeah. Cool. And also, I will need a presentation, a company profile of Plug HR.
Yeah.
And also, maybe if you have your profile, also it will help me to to the people that who are the kind of people behind this initiative.
Sure. I'll send you that. Yeah.
Okay.
Cool.
Okay.
All right.
Yeah, I think it's okay. Let's conclude this.
Sure. Thank you so much.
Okay.
Bye.
Thank you. Absolutely. Yeah. Bye.
प्रशांत
Yeah.
So जो मैट्रिक्स है ना हमारी ये जो आपने बनाई थी